And I know we are ready for
Yeah,
game number 2 because, again, experienced gaming, skilled team, but just they got a tough matchup though in Q Squad, and that showed game number 1, Trail. So
absolutely. I think on top of just the good drafting in general from Q Squad, they just had gank heavy heroes like Parasite and Fade. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into the game, guys.
all right, so as you can see, of course, this time Q Squad on the Legion side, experienced gaming on the Hellborn side. The blind ban stays, so just like now, I'm very interested to see here how Loader responds to that first game, especially with the blind bans. The first game, he blind banned what? It was Silhouette Draconis, I think,
Yep.
so we went with the carries. This time around, all right, Silhouette Draconis. He still does not want to have to face those. The same thing, Ophelia Warbeast taken care of from Q Squad. So, but yeah, he's still, Loader's still just set on the not wanting to have to deal with either one of those two heroes, despite Dark Lady and her success and everything. So, I don't know. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I think it's heroes that they're maybe not familiar with, but they know that maybe they've been looking at the scene from a distance and see that these heroes seem to be dominating games, or at least picked up frequently, and they're just not comfortable with them enough to play them, so they just want to ban them out. But there's an interesting lock, because we saw this yesterday, but there's that first lock Dr. Repulsor. Now, I'm interested to see how it fares against Experienced Gaming, because I know that Experienced Gaming, obviously with the players from Dota 2, he's well, I don't know if he is right now in the metagame for Dota 2. I don't think he was picked up often at all, but I know for quite some time he was picked up. So I'm interested to see what they do. But there are some more locks coming out. Bywog, Tempest, quick locks coming out from Nova, being Pharaoh and Plague Rider.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun seeing Style playing that Dr. Repulsor yesterday. Yeah, we were both so baffled by the fact that he went first item Alchemist Bones on Dr. Repulsor. That really caught us off guard, but in the end, it worked out very, 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 very well, to say the least. So, of course, that was when Q Squad took on Fortune Bakery yesterday in that best out of 3. So, I'm curious to see if they end up getting him again in this from the lock pull stage here, whether or not they do the same strategy with stock on the early Alchemist Bones. Maybe it'll just be based on how things are going on, of course. But obviously, Dr. Pulse was even banned last game, so we were kind of talking about that, how maybe Loda was researched the previous games that Q Squad had and maybe saw him and saw the success that he had in that game, so figured use a ban on him. But ain't going to happen this time around. As the lock pull is finished, a very strong lock pull yet again. So those Pharaoh, the Plague Rider, as you mentioned, the Bubbles was actually the final lock coming out from Loda over there. But to start things off with the banning stage, Nova will go ahead and take care of Jeraziah right away. But on to the banning phase we'll go. We'll see how it takes out this time. I got to think Parasite is going to be one of those bans here from Loda. There's 2 more left.
I would hope so. I mean, well, here we go. Jeraziah, Pebbles, Tundra, the Dark Lady, Nymphora. Loda has 1 more, but regardless, one of those is going to slip through the cracks. And at this point, there we go. Okay, so it actually
it's going to be
ban
Keeper
Parasite.
first pick then.
So yeah, there's Keeper available. There's also Fade.
There's Fade. Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I do value. Well, I don't know. Both those heroes are pretty ridiculous, but Wild Soul's also on the board. Now, I don't know if Jonas Fan. Well, I'm actually pretty sure Jonas Fan does play Wild Soul from time to time, but because he is banned so frequently, it's almost like you forget.
That's true. So we'll see. Oh, Luna's going to be their hero of choice, though. So not even any of the heroes that we're kind of listing off right there with them being left open. Luna is instead Nova's go-to choice. Maybe he just figures that, obviously with this several being left open and, also confident that perhaps Experienced Gaming might not run a hero like Fade. Again, he is not a Dota hero. That is more of a S2 HoN hero. So well, at least you saw the first game that kind of we were talking about, it seems like maybe that's coming into play here. And, well, you can almost strategize around that even. So I wonder if Nova is kind of that mindset as well here at the big stage. But, of course, Loda is their opportunity now to get their 2 heroes. So we'll see. There's plenty of strong options as you're listing off your Wild Soul, your Keeper of the Forest. It is going to be Keeper as one of them. So at least they got one of those 2.
Yep.
We'll see about Wild Soul.
I don't know if they do run Keeper as a suicide, though. But commonly, you usually it's fine to just run Keeper in the jungle, so long that you maybe have another hero that's optimal for suicide, because Keeper of the Forest is so fantastic in the suicide lane. But another thing to do is if you have another jungler on your team, like say a Tempest or an Ophelia or what have you, you can run both and have lots of pushing power, because normally junglers, they push strong and they push hard. So if you had something like a Keeper and a Tempest, we saw this just a couple games ago when we casted Fortune Bakery versus Clan Rage Cakes, Clan Rage Cakes. And they picked both of them, and I loved their lineup, but unfortunately just got a little outplayed and unfortunately lost that game. But yeah, and actually, speaking of push, Defiler, we don't see this hero that often, but I gotta tell you, I'm actually a big fan of this hero. It doesn't have a stun, and it's a little difficult to lane him. But if you can get past that laning phase, he's very powerful.
What? All right, things got really interesting in this game. So the Defiler pickup over there for experience. The response from QsQ is, well, your Moon Queen, Monkey King pickups here. So they got the Queen and the King. I laugh at my jokes too often. So Monkey King and Moon Queen, the follow-up pickups here from QsQ. Now again, Monkey King, not that these are, they're not that odd. I mean, we see them from time to time, but it is a little bit different seeing them here on QsQ, that's for sure. This is a team that, it seems like they're more of a team that they'll run, the go-to strategies and very rarely sway away from that, but this is a little bit oddball here. Hammerstorm going to be the final regular pick from Experience Gaming, on the other hand.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons, too, is, they're probably going to go a Moon Queen, a Luna lane, which on paper you might think that it might not be that strong, but it actually is quite strong with the spam ability of both heroes. Yeah. But even then, with the Keeper of the Forest on the board this early, that you can either suspect, okay, it's either Suicide Keeper, which we can lane, 1 or 2 safely against, or it's going to be a Suicide because Keeper's going to be in the jungle. It's going to be really hard to man up on that, especially with the heroes that you only have available now in the lock pool. And I expected them to go Tempest because they needed that jungle. They still have 3 different Suicide heroes to choose from, being Pharaoh, Plague Rider, and Bubbles. So securing that jungle is a really smart move from them. And we're probably going to see that Luna Moon Queen bottom, Monkey King mid, Tempest jungle, and if they have the opportunity, I would say Bubbles because it synergizes well. Bubbles also, the silence is really good against Keeper of the Forest. The Kelp Field is strong against Defiler. And, well, since Pharaoh is already picked up, we probably could see that Bubbles. But the double deny from Plague is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking over here at the Hellborn team again. It's just with Defiler and Keeper alone. That is a lot of push. You got Polywog Priest now on top of that. Hell, even Hammerstorm with his ultimate, the Brute Strength activated, he will just wreck towers himself. So this is a mass pushing team, no doubt, on Experience Gaming side, and it makes you wonder if that's really. You got to think that that's kind of what the strategy they wanted to accomplish here with especially their first 2 pickups. Going into this game, maybe just want to try to catch QsQ off guard in that sense. Go for something a little bit extreme here. But you were talking about Bubbles would make a lot of sense here with the final pick for QsQ. Sure enough, they end up getting that. So Style is going to be playing that Monkey King. Of course, Nox on the Moon Queen. You got Mally in the jungle. Then, well, it all just makes sense once again. So, so you think we're going to see that a Luna Moon Queen lane, and as you're stating, although that's, or are we going to see that? You think it's not going to be a Luna Monkey King?
Well, I think a Luna might switch up, but I think if they start bottom, it's probably going to be a Suicide Pharaoh in that long lane. A support Poly to support that Hammerstorm in the top lane, I'm suspecting. I have to see exactly where they're walking to. But actually, it looks like Defiler is maybe walking up here. Maybe Defiler's just walking up here just to, maybe find a clash or something like that. As we see QsQ, oh, this isn't very characteristic of QsQ. Usually they run all together as 5 immediately. But it looks like they have another plan in mind, or maybe someone's DC'd. It could be Nova, since he hasn't bought any items yet.
Yeah, that's probably the case. We'll probably see a timeout coming here any second. Of course, he was a captain for the team, so he did all the picks. It must have just happened while loading into the game here, but hopefully nothing too serious again, and then we'll be able to come back. But it is kind of unfortunate, because as you said, I mean, QsQ is known as a team that they just group up and they just rush towards placing that ward aside or protecting the ward aside, and they're doing neither here. Maybe it is because of the DC, maybe not. We'll see. Or maybe he was just simply AFK even. But it looks like they are ready to go, so it's on Experience Gaming to let us know if they're ready, and then we'll be good to go. Loda is playing Hammerstorm. He does go the Hatchet first, so he's going to be seeing more of a slick style, you could even say, more of a carry style Hammerstorm build perhaps, and that means, well, okay, so yeah, we're going to see the support Polywog being played by Nikwa here, and as you mentioned the last time we covered them, this is something that they are known to do here with the support Polywog Priest. Interesting stuff. Yeah, not going to see the Suicide Keeper. Going to be seeing the Juggle Keeper. I am intrigued, though, to see No Easy here on Defiler and to see what he brings to the table. Can't get Grimoire of Power, unfortunately. I know that's a powerful item on him, but...
Yeah. Well, so is Sheepstick, and it's good against their team. Now, I will say, we're probably going to see this Defiler versus Well, I don't know, because I saw them dual lane mid last game, and I thought that was strange. Maybe they're going to dual lane mid again with Polywog Hammerstorm. But regardless, if they here's the thing: if you do that and your dual lane mid sucks, they're just going to rotate a hero like a Luna that's just going to beat you. Like a Luna, if they had maybe a Luna Hammerstorm like we saw with the OTP, One Trick Pony, then it would be a different story. But Polywog offers a lot as a support against a suicide, like I talked about. So if they went top against his bubbles, it'd be phenomenal. But yeah, if that's the case, I'm interested to see how Defiler will fare up against Monkey King. Now, Monkey King seems to be a hero that's very scary to go against, especially a hero like Defiler that's an intelligence-based hero and doesn't have the most HP, doesn't have an escape mechanism. But yeah.
Well, Bubbles up here. He's a little bit out of range of a Hammerstorm stun, so should be fine. You do see a very aggressive Ward of Sight coming out from Experience Gaming. They've placed it in the lane right here, so they wanna know who's in that lane at all times, really, and where their exact positioning is. So yeah, very aggressive start in that sense. Coming out for them, and it looks like it is going to be the Hammerstorm Polywog up here. Of course, Keeper going to be in the jungle, so really a pseudo tri-lane is going to be going up against your Suicide Bubbles, being played by Jonas and Fan. So really your typical matchup that you would expect. Luna currently running around, looking to place a Ward of Sight, running into Pharaoh, though. Luckily for her, it's only Pharaoh. So she's able to kind of just walk away and not really too much done. She's still sitting on those 2 Ward of Sights, though. Hasn't been able to get either one up yet. I'm sure will before the 2-minute mark at the very least. But yeah, I'm in fact going to go right here and place one down at the ramp. So they will have top rune vision. Moon Queen is currently by herself, though, at the bottom side. It looks like Pharaoh is going to be sending down there. Monkey King will be matched up against Defiler here in the middle lane. Now, if it ends up being Defiler versus Monkey King just straight up, who do you think has an advantage?
Oh, Monkey King, definitely. You really got to be careful and play your lane perfectly if you're a ranged hero like Defiler against Monkey King. What he needs to do is, it's already kind of screwed up, sorry, but you have to just pummel auto attacks in like crazy. No regard for creep kills at all. He's even missed some of those as well. So Monkey King, of course, he is going for that fast bottle build. He didn't go full items. I think he saved about 200 gold or so, and it's already sitting at just a little bit, hair under 400 gold. So he's gonna have that bottle right around right before that 2-minute mark, which is phenomenal. But yeah, it's a hard matchup to do. But in the meantime, look at actually Blue Luna. That's Nova getting caught a little bit out of position, unfortunately. There's the tongue tie, and a very easy kill. Actually, Nickwa gets credit for the kill.
Yeah, I was watching that whole sequence, actually. It was initially Bubbles was the one trying to distract for Luna, it seemed like, while she ran up there and placed this Ward of Sight. It was accomplished, but the Hellborn team played that very smartly, especially Loda. Instead of going for the stun onto Bubbles, who was shell surfing away, trying to maybe get him, he just turned around and real quickly went down onto a Luna as soon as he saw her, and obviously we saw the end result from that. So it was a tricky play right there from Q Squad, trying to be a little bit nifty, but sure, he got the Ward of Sight down. Obviously cost him his life, though, and a bloodless kill came out for actually Nikwa on Polywog. Priest gets credit for it. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Monkey King doing the Monkey King thing, as we say. Defiler dropping really quickly. One more push right there. There's a smackdown kill, and Style will pick it up. The elusive dash, just too powerful, especially when you can use it consecutively like that.
Yep. Well, that's that matchup, man. I mean, Monkey King versus Defiler, you have to win it in the first minute. Like, honestly, if you're the ranged hero, if you're Defiler, you have to win it in the first minute. And it's just he didn't do that. Monkey King now has the bottle being delivered, and there's a regen on top of that. Oh, God, it's gonna be hurtful for him. If there's anyone that's going to snowball right now in this game, it's going to be this middle matchup, this Monkey King versus Defiler. And it's just going to get worse with him just bottling up this regen. Oh, man.
Yeah, that sucks for Defiler for sure. So... okay, I mean, you answered it pretty much. It's the case that you need to win it within the first minute or else you're pretty much screwed in that. That's probably where No Easy seems like he's at. So is it even a case of what do? I mean, do you just still sit here in the middle lane? I mean,
it's so hard.
Do you just go to another lane and say screw it? I mean,
you're going to need a gank from somebody.
Yeah.
But it looks like, Jonas the Fan has conceded this top lane. And this is exactly what I talked about. Polywog is great in that sense for being able to keep a suicide hero like Bubbles out of there. So now he's looking for an opening. Even if he just gets a Shell Surf right here, that's going to be enough damage. But, yeah, actually the Shell Surf might miss, so that's unfortunate, but doesn't matter. I think he still has that regen rune.
Yeah.
Yep, regen, and no harm, no foul.
Yeah, it was the case that was a little bit more of a risky initiation, but as you said, he had the regen rune bottled up, so he knew that. Oh, the Wave of Death actually hits somebody, jumps over the tower. He's flying all over the place. Again, that's what Monkey can do. But now Styles in a little bit of trouble right here using the elusive dash. He will survive, but he got creep blocked even. That could have been very dangerous, but the elusive dash helps him get away. And he's getting a lot of cancels on these bottle charges in the regen, unfortunately. So that's some good news there for No Easy. He's I don't want to say getting lucky necessarily, but things just happening to be working out for him as, oh, here we go once again, though. Monkey King jumping in, and just like that, Defiler's dead. So the damage on Monkey King is ridiculous.
It is, and just the fact that you can initiate them so far away. He doesn't even have boots, and can get to him from like 1,000 range away if need be. And now he's sitting in this lane. The rune is going to spawn another 3 seconds. Top, bottom, doesn't matter. He's probably going to have access to it. It is bottom, and what is it? We got a double damage rune. So good job from Pharaoh, actually. He's going to go down there and snipe that away from him since he can't really do anything in this bottom lane, as Aluna has rotated down here to help out Moon Queen as if she needed it. She was already winning. She's at 21 and 11 CS compared to a 6 and 2 Pharaoh. So already a great start QsQ this game.
I mean, I know this is kind of a hindsight thing now, and obviously it's even a little bit too late at this point, even, but would it maybe have made sense if they sent the Hammer Storm Polywog middle
No.
and then Defiler top?
No, because Aluna would have just transitioned. And
Yeah.
Moon Queen Aluna, or sorry, yeah, no. There's too many kings and queens, but Monkey King and Aluna would have dominated Hammer Storm and Poly. They would have just initiated on Poly from very far away. The spam ability from Aluna is much stronger, especially now with that nerf too. Actually, in the meantime, it looks like, oh, the double damage Pharaoh is there. Has a health potion ready to go. The snipe is not up on Aluna. It's on cooldown. She just used it, but yeah, in the meantime, actually, ooh, Bubbles, Jonas fan, caught down here in a sticky situation. Does manage to get Shell Surf, but oh, look at Monkey King doing his Monkey King thing. So much freaking damage, man. And on the meantime, you have a Keeper of the Force who is invis here, but he's only level 4. Compare that to the farming capabilities of Tempest, who's level 6 at 300 gold per minute.
Yeah. And Tempest is third on his team. I mean, Monkey King is slightly ahead of him, and then, of course, or Moon Queen. Damn it,
I know it.
Moon Queen is slightly ahead of him, and then Monkey King is obviously up there at 370 gold per minute, leading the way overall in this game. So yeah, QsQ in a very good spot, to say the least, again here in game number 2. So I guess ultimately what it comes down to here for this Monkey King matchup is, it's simply put, you really just needed a better option to match up against him in the picking stage. I guess so. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate being Noisy. Not that he's playing it poorly by any means. It's just simply it's tough. So he's just gonna sit back and use that wave of death as much as possible, and hope that the ganks maybe start eventually coming, and hope that, you know, at least the fact that Hammer Storm is somewhat free, or is free farming here at the top side, and Keeper of the Forest ideally is getting some decent farm, although it's, you know, as you kind of compare it already, it's not doing that great, but well, QsQ is definitely in the better spot right now. We'll see how they make use of it, especially with that Tempest farm, as you talked about.
I mean, look at Monkey. He can initiate. If he wants to, he can start dashing. Right? Oh, there you go. That's about 1,000 range. And he should be able to get this kill. Oh, actually, yeah, there's the assistance from Bubbles. One more out attack. And yep, Josephine actually has credit for the kill. But right there, you just see the initiation from Monkey King. And it's just so far away. It's almost impossible to get away from. You just have to almost concede the lane. But how can you concede the lane already to a Monkey King now?
Yeah.
He's level 7, probably going to be level 8 here pretty soon.
Yeah, it almost seems like, too, you know, maybe just like Hammer Storm having a homecoming stone or something so that he could just port as soon as he sees that initiation. But obviously that's just getting to a point of being so picky. But
then it's like, then you're conceding the only person on the team that's getting farmed compared
exactly.
to Moon Queen that's just sitting down there farming all day. So it's just ridiculous. What they needed was a better laner for mid.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Or they needed someone. I mean, Polywog in the top lane supporting is good against a suicide and all, but has no potential to really help out the mid player, especially if it's a Defiler. If that was something like, hell, maybe if it was like a Silhouette, but even more initiation. This Defiler is just, it's like, who was playing that Tundra last game?
That was Strength-B.
Strength-B, yeah. He's feeling that wrath right now.
Yeah, it sucks. Noisy just hating life right now, I'm sure. It's not fun. I mean, right there, that was just a 3 versus 1. Absolutely nothing he could do. Pharaoh's going to get caught in the bottom lane in the meantime. Mummy walls are up. Will it matter, though? Probably not. He falls. The tower also goes down. And look at just the momentum all of a sudden just pushing that much further ahead. 8 minutes into this game, not even yet. We're already looking at a 5,100 gold lead and a 4,200 experience lead. So things are just starting to add up very quickly here for QsQ. Experience Gaming trying to make a positive note happen. They're pushing the top lane, actually. And they should be able to do this fairly well. Hammerstorm not with them, actually, just yet. He purchased boots, but oh my god, he actually has an Alchemist Bones. Just realizing that. So he actually going the Alchemy Bones, even on Hammerstorm. Defiler getting picked off again in the middle lane. They do get the top tower. They did lose the middle lane, obviously, though, and the bottom secondary tower also did fall. So it's like kind of good news for experience, but the big picture, it still is pretty bad.
Yeah, and it was interesting. Actually, I was watching Moon Queen push that bottom lane. Had his aura onto heroes only. I feel like he could have pushed a lot faster, but obviously I'm nitpicking as they're in a great spot. More pushing continuing. Unfortunately, Keeper the Forest does not have his ultimate up yet because he's only level 5. They can't really push this tower without that because the response will just be too strong. In the meantime, you have Tempest pushing this mid lane up, and you have Monkey King sit behind with not only a haste rune, but an Energizer that's freshly picked up.
Oh, wow. Yeah. First item Energizer. Holy crap. And the haste rune, though, up. Oh, are you kidding me? This is just rude. Defiler had no reason to believe that anyone was going to be right here. But, of course, with this ward of sight, Monkey King comes in with a haste rune and just destroys him. He's 0-6-0 now. It is no easy. It sucks. It really does. So, well, again, it's kind of a case of, honestly, just stop going to the middle lane. You died like 4 times in 2 minutes here.
Yep.
Just constantly going back, so you really might as well just go to the jungle or something. But we do see Monkey King is now at the bottom lane, helping to push that up even a little bit more. Hammerstorm, Polywalk Priest, and Keeper of the Forest, they're all just kind of doing their thing up here at the top side while the middle and bottom lane action is going on. So it's almost as if they're just paying attention to their top side of the map, and then the rest, you know, whatever happens, happens. But Loda does port to the bottom lane. He's going to take advantage of it being pushed up. He's got his Steam Boots now finished. And he does have 2 levels actually in a Mighty Swing even. So he's going for a very, you know, farm-heavy Hammerstorm here in that sense on top of the Alchemist bones as well.
Yeah, I don't know about that. If I was to think of right now, and actually Monkey King doing some more initiation onto Pharaoh this time, one more auto attack. Actually, Pharaoh gets the hook as well as the falls onto Monkey King. There's the stun. Actually, Monkey King might fall. It's going to be close. He has a lot of agility. And there's the oh my god, the ultimate was not cast. So, and actually, Male gets the ultimate off. It might be his demise, but it's going to save Monkey King. And I'm sure Style's going to owe him a lot of money after that one.
Oh, man. Keeper of the Forest was no doubt an ulti animation right there, yet it just barely got canceled by Tempest. That was no doubt clutch coming out right there. But as you said, he kind of suicided himself for that. But hey, he saved Monkey King, who we just mentioned he had an Energizer picked up. Now he has a portal key on top of that. A portal key Energizer Monkey King. Oh my god, I would be fearing for my life right now from the Hellborn team if they weren't already. This Monkey King is... It's already ridiculous the range that he has on his abilities. Now you add a portal key on top of that. That is scary. So he's just sitting off here into the jungle, just waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for somebody to kind of push up a little bit. Will he try to bait right here? Yes, he'll jump in. He jumps into a huge group of the Hellborn team. Defiler jumping quickly. Defiler will fall, but Monkey King getting locked out. The root even coming out, and Monkey King will finally be taken out. So the Hellborn team a victory won in that sense. They take out the great Monkey King, and it ends up being a 1-for-1. So clearly Style, he's getting a little bit confident now.
Yeah, that's just kind of a throwaway kill right there, but I guess why not? But you know, in a serious game, you want to keep your composure because if this was you know, finals of HoN Tour and with all that money in the line, you want to be able to.
I doubt we see these heroes.
Yeah.
For one.
Well, yeah, that's probably true, but you still want to be able to play serious. I've actually tried Portal Key on Monkey King before, and I absolutely hated it because it for that exact situation we saw right there, it just gets you way too overzealous and you end up killing yourself more than not. But
yeah, that's kind of funny actually.
Yeah, nonetheless, there's still always Nox farming, you know, 450, 60 gold per minute or so.
Yeah.
So I feel like you could throw away, you know, at least 15 more kills like that, and they'll still be fine.
Yeah, like I said, Codex on bubbles. I mean, in fact, he uses it right there as he jumps in on a Pharaoh. So I'm going to see after. He's got some help as well.
Wait, did you just say Codex on bubbles?
Yes.
The suicide bubbles?
Yes.
That did nothing up top lane and just sat behind mid?
Exactly.
Oh my god.
342 gold per minute for him. You have to give him, remember too, they have 4 tower kills already done. We're sitting here looking at the Hellborn team and talking about their pushing presence going into the game, and sure enough, they're the ones that are down 4 tower kills to 1.
Yeah.
Here 13 minutes in. So Defiler is level 6 now, so she has her, what is it even called, Exorcism or something like that? Unholy Expulsion. What am I thinking? Exorcism. I'm just making up names apparently. Anyways, Unholy Expulsion.
You forget this hero was so popular.
Yeah, he's here all the time. Unholy Expulsion, I just call it the Ghosts. Big thing to keep in mind is the Ghosts are actually physical damage. I always forget that from time to time.
So it's going to do so much damage to this Monkey King.
Yeah.
That has massive agility as well as this. Wow. Okay, Moon Queen has 18.5 agility right now.
Jeez, for
Pretty
armor.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Or yeah, sorry. That'd be horrible.
That would be horrible. She would be very underfarmed.
Yeah.
I think that's her base. That's higher than her base, lower than her base. Anyways, yeah, Codex picked up on Tempest as well. Q Squad has basically made a point that, yeah, we have the game one, we have the series one. We're just going to go ahead and have some fun with it. Again, winning this series right here will mean that you're at least, well, you're in Diamond Division. There's no even higher than that. So
yeah,
you're in Diamond Division, and the Q Squad is, not that that's surprising by any means, but it's nice to know that at least that's happening finally. So I'm sure they'll be very excited for that. But obviously, it's still you still by all means play on here for the Hunter qualifiers, because at this point now, for them at least, they're playing for prize pool. They're playing for more prize pool overall,
right.
$10,000 prize pool. So, and it gets pretty nice there at the top couple of seeds, of course. So, still be playing for that as far as our Legion team or our Helper team is concerned. And yeah, I just saw that Defiler, poor guy, double damage Monkey King. But as far as Experience Gaming is concerned, they're at least going to be in gold still no matter what. But they're just going to not be knocked out to the loser's bracket as a result of this. And if they win, though, in the loser's bracket, whoever they play against, they will then still be Diamond. So still a good chance, a very good chance, in fact, depending on who they're matched up against, of course. It's almost a kind of a luck of the roll, you could say, going into the first cycle that they could be Diamond. So Keeper of the Forest, wow. He just got, even Keeper of the Forest is just getting annihilated as quickly as we saw, so.
Yeah, this is becoming a shit show, honestly, unfortunately. Loda is 1-0-2, farming at actually it's farming pretty
very
damn
well.
high, but
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters.
No.
I mean, he is farming. He probably has a shrunken head relatively soon if that's what he decides to go for, but it doesn't matter. Yep.
He's going PvE.
Yep.
He is farming them creeps.
Oh yeah, I will talk about. I was gonna say how he is opting to max out that mighty swing early. I absolutely hate it. I think the only way you can do that, maybe, is if you have a very, very aggressive team, ganking constantly while you just sit and farm with something like a Rune Cleaver. But not with a pushing team, not when you're, like, why do you need to be able to cleave when you're just sitting up in the front lines trying to hit a tower?
Yeah, he's just such an effective hero, too, as far as being involved. Like you said, the idea of even having him sit back and just farm like he's been doing this game, honestly, it's, I get it. I mean, he no doubt has carry potential. I mean, this guy could hit like a freaking truck for sure. But he's also so useful, especially in the early game stage even. I mean, that stun is one of the more powerful stuns, honestly, in the game at the earlier levels. Yeah. And then on top of that, the Galvanize is a very good tool, as you're kind of saying, for going in, for going out, for adding the armor buff for your team in those fights or gank attempts. Yeah, it just seems like he's just so much better used in the role of, you know, being the initiator, being that kind of support even, the secondary support. So, but yeah, he's kind of in that farming role. He is going to try to help out here at the bottom lane. Moon Queen activated the ultimate right there, but so many things to absorb the Moon Beams, and she will eventually fall. Luna's running with the Invis. The Legion team still wants to make something happen, apparently. That is a real Monkey King. It's the Energizer buff on him. In the background, Kalefield hitting. Are they going to follow this up? A Polywalk Priest towards go down. Monkey King says, I'm going to the balls of the wall, baby. Codex coming out, takes that Polywalk Priest. Farrell's trying to make something happen. He's just going to run away. In the meantime, Luna doing some damage in the foreground. Hammerstorm, though, he's looking at a nice stun right there to finish off Luna. And actually, Q Squad will retreat. So, again, kind of some sloppy initiation, but got some kills out of it, I guess.
Yeah, they're just honestly kind of having some fun right now, playing with their food, so to speak. But they need a Tempest with a portal key to really be serious about pushing into the base or actually, you know, taking this game to the next level. But, yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say right now. There's just a massive lead for them. And I will say, though, it's kind of funny that Nova's only level 5.
Yeah, that's true. He's a Luna level 5, and he's 2-2-1. I mean, it's not like he's, I guess it's not that crazy involved. It's 14 kills total, but yeah, he's still level 5.
3-kill involvement on the best laning support in the game.
Yeah.
And 14 kills. So,
look at Style, 6-1 and 6 on Monkey King there. So, yeah, he's been involved. 12 of the 14 hero kills.
But it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm pointing out numbers that don't really matter in a game that's getting pretty dominated right now at this point. So
it is. It definitely is. So, but hey, Experience Gaming, you know, they're at least, well, yeah, as a team, I mean, they're saying that they're going to hang in there, knowing that this is the end of the road, well, for this round at least. So again, it's not the end of the road overall, but for this round, they will be dropping out to the losers bracket, but they're just going to fight this one out. Just like you said, kind of just have fun with it, see if anything happens. Yeah, bottom lane, Pharaoh
Pharaoh tried to hook like toward the fountain. Like, what are you going to hook onto that's going to save you?
Random hero that's jumping in for some reason. If you had a Staff of the Master, that could have worked.
That is, I gotta say, that's one of the most fun mechanics in the game to work with. Going,
Yeah.
I think it's 3,000 range, just jumping around and it's 20-second cooldown.
Yeah.
To whatever
Staff
you
of the
want
Master
to.
on Pharaoh is a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah, that
That
is
and
really
Nymphoria Staff of the Master.
Oh, that's just troll. That is probably one of the most trollish abilities in the game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, how the hell? Why am I in their base?
Do you know if it shares a cooldown with your ultimate? Because I know it gives
It
you
does.
It does.
No, maybe it doesn't actually.
Because what you could do is troll somebody and just ult into the fountain, like behind the fountain, and then bring somebody there. It's pretty awesome.
I don't think it does actually. I'm not sure. I can't say. I've never abused that. I would never do that. Yeah. Staff of the Master ultimates are fun. I kind of do wish there was more, honestly. I mean, obviously, ideally it would be cool if every single hero had a Staff of the Master ultimate. I know we've kind of talked about it in the past, just kind of gone through a lot of heroes that don't have it, just kind of joked about, possibilities out there for some heroes. And there were some entertaining ones, like Warbeast getting 650 movement speed.
Oh, God.
So going, 522 is the max, but going up to like 650.
Oh, that's right. I remember this conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some crazy
I'm
ones.
trying to think of how... Oh, Jonathan fan actually getting another kill. What do you know? I'm trying to think of all the funny situations now that we have a little bit of downtime, so to speak, of trolling somebody with Staff of the Master on Nymphoria. What you could do is, okay, you get a puzzle box and Staff of the Master.
Yes.
You ultimate yourself up, or you could ultimate... Yeah, no, okay, you don't even need a puzzle box. You ultimate a Pebbles with you. That's like your friend. Behind the fountain of the enemy team, and then after you do that, then you also have to have a portal key on yourself. Keep in mind. Then you have to ult somebody on your team to you, and then you blink with and on top of that you have to have Void Talisman.
Okay.
So you Void Talisman, blink into the fountain.
This is never gonna
Pebbles tosses the unfortunate victim on your team to you. And then you also have to have a push book. And then you push book yourself out to safety, he dies.
And then a restoration stone so that you can do it all again.
Well, that goes without saying. What do you think?
So basically...
What do you think, guys? You like that idea?
140 minutes into the game, you might be able to try that. Yeah.
Well, you have to get a Midas first on Nymphoria. So that you can actually get these items.
Alchemy Bones, of course. Yeah, probably not going to happen. For those that are wondering, the Nymphoria Staff of the Master Ultimate, it makes it so you can actually report people to you. Why are we talking about? Where did Nymphoria even come from? I don't even know.
You were talking about Staff of the Master.
We were talking about Pharaoh Staff of the Master, then
right.
I guess I just talked about trollish ones. Yeah.
Oh god.
It ports it to you though. I believe is how it works. So
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity. Anyways, well, by the way, Loda he's tied with Moonqueen and farm. I mean, Loda is farming like crazy. Maybe this game isn't as over as we've made it out to be, honestly. I mean, he has an Elder Parasite, a Shrunken Head. He is now the top farmer in the game after that tower kill.
Yeah, he is. Now, I will say, though, that even though he has surpassed Nox, the numbers actually still have gone up for QsQ in general. Now sitting at 15k gold, 13k experience, so... But they're all down here. We might actually see an organized fight for once.
Yes.
The codexes are up and upgraded. I think it's level 2 on Tempest.
Here we go. Pharaoh jumping in on a Moonqueen. Actually in the back row, Moonqueen using the geometry. Oh my god, Keeper the fourth bursts it down before you can even root. The Moonbeam's doing so much damage spread throughout to fire there. She had her Unholy Expulsion off. Doesn't matter. Polywalk Priest falls. And surprise, surprise, QsQ genocides without losing a single hero. So
what do you know?
What do you know?
Now back to Nymphoria.
Yeah. Now back to a serious discussion. Yeah. What is that codex? He just purchased level 5, I think. Yeah, Bubbles has level 5 on the way. Man, experienced gaming though. They're getting more experience, I guess.
Yeah. You're awful. You're horrible.
I really am. Just stop
man.
those lame jokes.
But, yeah, I mean, what else is there to talk about in this game so far? I mean, it looks like Nox is taking this seriously. Like, he has serious items. Everyone else on this team is trolling him. You have a Thunderclaw on Monkey King. That's horrible. You have a Codex Gravelock. At what level of Codex is this?
Hey, Nova's doing his thing. He's doing okay.
Yeah. Codex level 5.
2 on Tempest, 5 on Bubbles.
On Bubbles. Crazy, crazy.
That's a lot of damage.
Yep.
Yes, it is. Any other fun Staff of the Master ultimates? You know what would be interesting too? If Staff of the Master actually could affect other abilities, not just the ultimate. That might just get a little too.
That's kind of more like spell shards used to be, or I mean is. Sorry.
True.
But no, I do like trying to think about what kind of things you could do with Staff of the Master on more heroes, and I think that this is an item, and that's an item too that needs to have more of an impact on the spells that it buffs. Because it just seems like we never see that item on anybody, except maybe Chipper. It's very good on Chipper and maybe Zeus, or Thunderbringer, but who the hell picks Thunderbringer
Exactly.
right now?
So heroes we never actually see.
God.
The only hero that we see in competitive plays, Bubbles just takes a Spitter X right there, is Polywog Priest, I would say. Other than that, it's just we never even remotely see it. I mean, every now and then maybe on a Hag, but not really.
Which is why I think you need to make it maybe available to more heroes. Like, what about actually, you can use Moon Queen now that I think about it. But what about like Bubbles, or what about maybe a Luna or something, or Defiler?
At least like heroes that it kind of makes sense on, and that's like more intelligence based even. Where your Bubbles exactly that. I think that's a great example. Could definitely be pretty cool, even if it's something as simple as just reducing the cooldown and more damage as it is on several. So.
Yeah.
Hey, it's something. Makes a reason to pick it up.
Absolutely.
But like Pebbles. I know another one that was thrown around was Pebbles actually having a group chuck. Not just so he can chuck multiple people. Not just one person. That'd be fun.
What about Staff of the Master on Wild Soul so he has 2 bears?
Okay. Calm down there. Calm down. I know that would be a lot of work, though. That's for sure. I mean, obviously it's more than just simply sitting here and going over ideas, because then you'd have to worry about balancing it all.
Denied.
And, the game's already so difficult to balance in the first place that
Yep.
adding another level like that on an item is just it does get pretty ridiculous. So, anyways, you were actually looking at a match while we were waiting in between the games. There was you saw Complexity was taking on obviously they're in the losers bracket like they've been from the beginning. They were playing Boy, actually, a team that it's kind of a TMM All-Star team, as you like to label them.
Sure.
And actually, hold that thought for a second. Moonku running the Hammerstorm. Hammerstorm with a lot of damage, actually, but Tempest comes in, and you'll look at Hammerstorm fall shortly after. So even with the Shrunken Head, which you didn't even use, it wouldn't have mattered. The Tempest Ultimate holding him in place. But anyways, there was a pretty even game, actually. Do you have an update on that by chance?
I believe Complexity did actually win game 1. But it was even for some time. And
they ran Rally.
They ran Rally.
That was cool.
Not by choice. I think there was Beacon said that they locked 3 troll locks or something.
Oh, okay.
So they were kind of forced to pick up Rally.
Yeah, right. He's just telling you that. Telling the replay. So he's lying. So yeah, obviously I'm sure there's other interesting results. I don't have it just yet, but of course, stay tuned to the brackets on HoNtour.com. It actually updates as the matches are played. I wasn't even aware about that until yesterday, actually. So if you go to the brackets, it'll say like if a team's up 1-0 or if it's tied at 1-1, and it actually says that on the brackets, a live update. So it's another cool feature of the brackets. If you weren't aware of that, and I'm sure plenty weren't, so definitely check it out for that and see other results out there around the world of HoN Tour. Q Squad, what do we got on Moon Queen? Moon Queen has 2 dancing plates. What? Why do you have 2 dancing plates? Doesn't even make sense. Going for Wingbow and an Assassin Shroud, or Kajiro. But figured she'd get the 2 dancing plates first.
Why not? Why not?
That's a better question. 27.5 armor. She can tank stuff now too, very effectively. Yeah, Moon Queen will wreck the base, that's for sure. Oh my god, that just happened. Jonas, man.
The spell shards will be coming out shortly. I like how Loda even laughed about it.
Yeah, it's like, haha.
Haha, Nequa, you got owned.
You got owned, loser. He just Alchemist Bones a creep. Oh, here we go. Pharaoh jumping in. Moon Queen actually dropping. He doesn't have a token of life, but in comes a response here from the Legion team. Monkey King in the background. Loda in the background just activates the Shrunken Head. Ultimate is now up. Brute Strength. Oh, wow. He is hitting like a damn truck, as you would expect. Actually, Bubbles in some trouble. Oh, Bubbles will barely live. And Hammerstorm falls. So once again, a genocide with no players dying. GG Wellplates are finally being called. And it looks like that should start officially doing it here. So there we go. It is official. Q Squad is victorious over Experience Gaming, and again, as a result of that, Q Squad is going to be, well, they're going to be in Diamond no matter what happens from here on out here in the HoN Tour Qualifiers, so congratulations to them. As I said, I'm sure they're very happy for that. It's fun to get that off your shoulders and knowing that's done with. You don't need to worry about that anymore. Still playing on, though, for the sake of prize money at this point, but
oh yeah,
it's good to be in Diamond.
Well, did I call it or did I call it? I mean, QsQ, they're a very seasoned team, and I just think it has nothing to do with talent or skill. It's just they understand what works and what doesn't. It's as simple as that. And they picked Hero. I mean, even in this last game, while it maybe seemed kind of funny and weird on paper, with Monkey King and Moon Queen, the King and the Queen, it actually fit a formula nicely. They had the Suicide. They had a strong hero mid that just crushed a Filer. I think that was the mostly thing. Is not that their lineup was kind of interesting. It was just that experience lineup just simply didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely, as I said, going into the series. We really, at the very least, whatever you expected, whether it was what you expected or I or, you at home, we were going to get some information on where things currently stand with really both of these teams, and I think we definitely got that, especially from Experience Gaming. Clearly they got their work to put out there. They got their work to put out there, and again, whether or not they fully are going to dedicate and put enough time in to actually be the better team that they most certainly can be. It's completely up to them, of course. So as the cycles go on, and as I said earlier too, I mean, there's still a chance, it's still a good chance even, that they could be making Diamond. Actually, they'll just need to defeat their opponent now in the losers bracket, whoever that is on Thursday, and if they do, they're going to be in Diamond actually. So still a very good chance, definitely going to be happening for them to qualify for Diamond. And then we'll see where things go from there. But
absolutely,
yeah. So that's going to be fun. But with that said, of course, that does mean our coverage for both today and our weekend even is coming down to a conclusion. So as always, we had a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys enjoyed our coverage for the weekend. But like I said, like we talked about earlier, guys, Thursday we're going to be continuing our coverage, and that's going to go all the way to Sunday straight. We're going to have a doubleheader each day leading up until then. Then we'll know the grand finals, and then the very next day after that, on Monday, we're leaving for DreamHack.
Yep.
And then, of course, that next week, so the following week, well, it's DreamHack Winter 2012. So we have quite a lot of content.
Got a lot on our plate
coming at you. So, and there's HoN Tour Weekly. Don't forget about that, actually. Yeah, on Tuesday. So that's going to be the in between right now. So this Tuesday is going to be HoN Tour Weekly, which we're going to be previewing a lot of that DreamHack Winter event. So definitely look forward to that, guys.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. And congratulations to QsQ. Of course, Experience Gaming, as you mentioned, is still in it. So hopefully they'll be able to recuperate and maybe think of something else to use in that losers bracket. But congratulations yet again to QsQ. They've been looking fantastic.
Yeah, they definitely have been. So best of luck to them finishing the event as far as Experience Gaming goes. Again, best of luck for them for qualifying for at least Diamond. We'll see how that goes. But we're going to find out more on that on Thursday. Come for that coverage. So to wrap things up officially here, guys, once again, a lot of fun. Come back Tuesday for HoN Tour Weekly. We'll see you then at 1 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. or 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern at 2200 Central European Time. Follow the HoNcast Facebook, at HoNcast on Twitter for all those updates. You can follow this guy at TrelfHoN.
And at BreakyCPK.
And, definitely check all that out, and we'll have some fun. The VODs, guys, they should be up as soon as possible. Yesterday's, unfortunately, I was getting told that, and I was looking into it. It wasn't actually recorded on Twitch's side, and right now that is actually how we're going about for VODs. So we are getting in contact with Twitch, so to try to get that resolved, and hopefully that we can have the matches that took place yesterday good to go. But it looks like the matches today were good, so that should be fun for today at least. But again, hopefully we get yesterday's. But anyways, guys, it's been fun once again. We'll see you on Tuesday, HoN Tour Weekly. Have a good night, guys.